I was 17. He was one of my really close friends, and he ends up going to the same school that I go to. It's hard because you don't want to use the term rape because it's not like it was a stranger that held a knife to you in an alley, but it was like one of your really close friends, and so it took me a long time to come to terms with the fact that like he did do something wrong. He would tell me that he didn't do anything to hurt me and that he got my consent and that I wanted it, or that I had hurt him in some way. He would turn it on me and kind of gaslight me to make it seem like I was the bad guy.
We average about 12 sexual assaults a year, but when we look at the behavior of sexual misconduct, which is sexual harassment all the way to sexual assault, we average about 54 a year. So if the student wants a legal ramification, then we partner with law enforcement. So there's lots of different ways to proceed once you make a report. That's really dictated by what the reporting party wants. So if they just want resources, we're going to get them connected to health and counseling. We're going to get them an advocate from Our Voice, likely, if they'd like that. We're going to help them with their academic accommodations as they try to navigate academically after reporting, after something like that happens. If they want to go forward through the Title IX process, because we're educational and because we hold students responsible for policy violations, not for breaking the law, then we go through a much more formal process, and that requires an investigation. That can be it can strain students to be a part of that. It's hard to talk about these things and to tell complete strangers about things like this. We go through that, we get witnesses, we might get all the information from Snapchat, sometimes that helps us, sometimes Facebook, sometimes emails, whatever kind of information they have that helps us decide, was a policy violated.
Both my friends and my therapist told me that it wouldn't be worth the trouble and that I'd end up going through like more trauma than it's worth, basically. Mainly because most survivors that go forward don't see any outcome. Like, you don't get to see your assailant serve any time or be reprimanded. Most times, I mean, if you look at Brock Turner, he just got like a slap on the wrist. So no, I didn't do anything. I figured I could just go to therapy and deal with it on my own. And just deal with the fact that sometimes you don't get closure. I've gone to the Health and Counseling Center, and their therapists are, there's things to be desired. They're kind of garbage. They don't take it seriously enough, and if I could change it, I would say that scaring the shit out of people would be a lot better than just being like, oh, well, you get off this time, here's a warning, because obviously something's not working.
We don't have a whole lot of limits, so I find that I've never given any two students the same exact support. And that's really nice, because we can do things like I had already mentioned about getting an advocate from either Helpmate or Our Voice, depending on their circumstances. We help academically. We've done things as even rerouted students so that as they're matriculating on campus, they never have to pass each other. We do things where we say, you can be in the unit at this time and you can be in the unit this time. It just really depends. There's not really a lot of limitations to what I can do to support students. But generally speaking, they're going to get help, they're going to get counseling, and they're going to have what we call a process advisor who checks in on them from the time they report to the time they graduate. You know, you don't have to do anything if you're not ready, but you should tell someone, right? One of the best things is that we can get you some support. And the reason this matters is because the effects of sexual trauma have wide-reaching impact for years. So that's it. Get help.
9 times out of 10, you're not gonna get closure. You're not gonna get a sense of security. You're probably gonna see your assailant every day. And the best thing you can do is tell your friends, tell people, warn people around you. Don't be afraid to speak out about it and be loud as hell. But also make sure you take time to heal yourself, because at the end of the day, nobody's going to be able to do that except you. And even if you do see your assailant punished, it's not going to make you feel any better. It's not going to do anything to heal you. So I would just say, take care of yourself.